Assalamualaikum. Alright, now we will go to example 1. As you can see in the figure, we are going to find the first series of ft for n equals to 5. Alright, as usual before this, as I told you before, it is a good practice for you to write all the first series coefficient before you answer the question. So for the first one, you write the first series coefficient where a naught plus the summation of n equals to 1 into infinity with an cos n omega naught t plus b and sin n omega naught t. Alright, now after that we will then write a naught, where the formula of the a naught coefficient is 1 over t integration from 0 to t ft dt. Alright, now for an, the coefficient is 2 over t integration from 0 to t ft cos and omega naught t dt. And as for bn, like I have told you before in our class, the coefficient is very similar to an, but it's just that for an we are going to find the integration of cos, but for bn we are going to find the coefficient for sine and omega naught t dt. Okay, so now we are going to start our calculation, but before that we have to find t, some variables which is t and also omega, because the coefficient really depending on t and omega, as we all know. So referring to the graph, we know that t is equals to 2 because the signal starts at 0 and end at 2 and repeated again from 2 to 4 and so on. So omega is equals to 2 pi f, where f is equal to 1 over t, meaning 2 pi over t, 2 pi over, we already have t equals to 2, therefore our omega naught is equal to pi. Alright, moving on in finding a naught, an and also bn. So like it's just a simple calculation where you just have to insert all the value that you have and with all the value that you have in the coefficient that you have written before. So that's why it is a good practice for you to write the coefficient beforehand. So in the examination, for example, if you are a bit nervous or forgot your equation, you still can rely to the one that you have written before. So a naught, I'm sorry for the mistake, it is actually a naught equals to 1 over 2 from integration from 0 to 1, and the amplitude is 1 dt. We will get a naught equal to 1 over 2. So as for an, the equation is 2 over t integration from 0 t ft cos n omega naught t dt. So for an, when you have insert all the value, you will get the final answer of actually 0. Alright, so now we have find an. Now we will moving on to find bn. Alright, so bn as very similar to an, where the coefficient is very similar. The only difference is this one, which is bn is sine, where n we are going to find the integration of cos. So as for this one, again, just insert all the value that you have find out. So 2 over 2 from integration from 0 to 1, the amplitude is 1, sine n pi t dt. So as for bn, you will get the values looking like this. Okay, so the final value looks like this. Therefore, you cannot really leave the value like that, because you have to insert the value inside the full coefficient of the Fourier series. So therefore, for this case, okay, we will just wait for the calculation to finish. Okay, so after you have done until this, where when you try to solve it, you cannot do anything about it. So for this example, you will get 2 over n pi, where when you insert the value of odd and even, you will get the value of odd and even, which is different. You will get 0 for when n equals to even, while you will get you will get -2 for n equals to odd number. Okay, so you already have obtained a naught, a n, and also bn here. So I'm going step by step in hoping everyone can catch up. Alright, so now you already obtained a naught, an, and bn. So the final thing you have to do for the first part is just write everything back until n equals to 5, or we can say until the fifth harmonics of Fourier series, where ft equals to 1 over 2 plus summation of n equals to 1 to infinity 0, why 0? Because an just now you got 0, plus 2 over pi sine n omega t for n equals to odd. Okay, don't forget to write that, because because we don't want you to do any mistakes, and secondly, because it is a very proper way to write it, because you have calculated before. Okay, so after you have write that, the representation of this short representation of your series, then you have to present it in the full 5 harmonics of your series representations. Okay, so here I write the full representation, where 1 over 2 is a naught, and then moving on to a1, okay, n equals to 1, and then I will write the next one, which is a equals to 2. So we know that for all the even value we will get 0, that's why I put 0 there. And then moving on to n equals to 3, we will get 2 over 3 pi sine 3 omega t. Moving on to n equals to 4, again 0. And then for the final one, we will get 2 over 5 pi sine 3 pi omega t. Alright, so that's it for the first part. So now I will continue for the next part. Okay, so after you have find all the coefficient, what you have to do is plotting the amplitude and also the phase spectrum. Amplitude and phase spectrum. Okay, so actually for the amplitude and phase spectrum, I really love all of my students who have this good habit of writing a table. Why? Because usually when we want to plot something, we will plot something and value from a table, right? From a representation of a table. So that's why it is better for us to, for you to develop a table like this that represent all the value that is needed to plot the amplitude and also the phase spectrum. Okay, so which is n, an, bn. Okay, I think there is mistake there. Wait, let me correct it. So it is actually N A naught. Actually, it is not N naught. It's A N. Yes, A N, B N, A N, and also theta N. So N, we know that the question asks you to find the first series until N equals to 5 or the fifth harmonics. So we already know that all the value for even is 0, so just write everything 0. And then now we are going to find the capital of AN. So we do know that the value of AN is the value of AN is actually 0. So that's why we put 0 here. And then BN. So just refer to your previous calculation to make sure. So we know that our Bn is 2 over n pi for n equals to odd, right? So just put all the value in the table. Yes, very easy. Just write everything back just to clear the way. Okay, now we are going to find An and also theta n. Okay, so to find An, we already know that the formula is actually An equals to the square root of, okay, so the square root of A squared plus An squared plus Bn squared. Okay, sorry for the missing n there. And then so just try to, so when you calculated it, you will know that we already know that An is 0, so meaning that we will just copy all the values of Bn in An. As simple as that when you have An equals to 0. Alright. Okay, I'm sorry. It takes time for me to calculate. Okay, so just to confirm, and then yes, the value is 2 over pi. Again, 2 over 3 pi, and also 2 over 5 pi. Okay, now moving on for us to find the delta n. Okay, so now in order to plot the phase spectra, we are going to find the delta n. So the formula is negative arctangent Bn over An. So just calculate that using your calculator. So just to remind you, if we write that arctangent, if we do any calculation of anything over than 0, you will get math error, because as you all know, we cannot divide anything with 0 because the answer will be infinity. So I remind you to put, when you have such example like this, what you have to do is to do over 0.00001, which also means equals to 0. Okay, do not put 0, put any value that is nearest to the 0. 0.01 also accepted. Okay, then you will get all the value is negative 90. So what you just have to do is just to plot the first one, amplitude spectrum. So after you have finished, once your table is completed, then you can plot. So just simply plot what you have right in your table, what you have find in the table. Just plot like that. So as you can see here, by doing the table, it actually helps you a lot, which contribute to extra marks because of the table, and moreover, it is to avoid you doing any mistakes in plotting the amplitude and also phase spectrum. Okay, why do I put 0.5 there? Because I want all of you to don't just simplify, write the value. Make sure the value have the common sense behind it, where we can know that 2 over pi is larger than 0.5. So that's why I put 0.5 there to have like a clear value. So now as you can see, I plot until 5 over pi, and on where the n is even number, I still put dot there, so just to show you that you have to plot everything even though the value is 0. So just put like a dot there to show that you understand, to show that you, yes, just for the sake of showing that you understand. Okay, so finally for the phase spectrum, because we already know that the value is negative 90, so just simply do the you draw your graph like this, and yes, just plot for phase spectrum. Okay, so that's all for example 1. See you on our next video for the next example on Fourier's. Alright, okay, bye. Thank you everyone.